The Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is who's in, who's out, and everything you need to know about this game. So, the 4-1-1 Green Bay Packers travel to Pittsburgh to take on the 4-2 Steelers Sunday, October 26th at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday Night Football. This game will be played in Pittsburgh at Acrisure Stadium, and let's see the injury report for both teams. So let's start off with the Steelers, because the Steelers aren't really dealing with as much injuries as they was at the beginning of the year. So let's go through it. The Pittsburgh Steelers, when looking at their injury report, they have center Zach Frazier, who's the biggest one that's up in the air, because he has been dealing with a calf injury basically all week in practice, and he did not participate in the first few days, and in the very last day on Friday, he did participate, however, so he should be ready to go based off what he has said and based off that he was a full participant on the last day. He said that his calf is really sore, but that he expects to be out there. Also, looking at Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is a player who missed the last 2 games and part of the 3rd game. So he has been dealing with a shoulder injury. He did not participate in the last 2 weeks at practice, missed both those games. But in this week's practice, straight from the get-go, on Tuesday, he was a full participant. And he's continued being a full participant all the way through. So he will be good to go and will be back in a Steelers uniform when they wear those 1933 throwbacks. Also, looking at some other players in terms of dealing with injuries, TJ Watt, he appeared on the injury report as a limited participant with a hip injury yesterday, but he should be ready to go. That should not hinder him and his participant in this game at all. Will it be sore? Maybe, but he will be playing. There's also other players like Scotty Miller, who appeared on the injury report with a finger injury. Quarterback Will Howard, he's on injury reserve, but he participated in full with a right hand injury. And also Malik Harrison, who's on IR. He's dealing with a knee injury as well, but he also participated in full. So some guys of those that are on injury reserve may be activated this week off of it, or they may be activated next week. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the injury report for the Steelers. Now, when looking at the injury report for the Green Bay Packers, they have a big injury report as well. Steelers, most of the players who appear in the injury report are just resting or just minor injuries. But for the Green Bay Packers, they have a longer injury report. So when looking at the Green Bay Packers, who appears in their injury report, whether they're playing or not playing, you look at the long list, and it starts with guard Aaron Banks with a groin injury, Anthony Belton with an ankle, Nate Hobbs with a knee, and those are the people who participated in full, who appeared on the injury report, along with Jordan Morgan. So they will all be good to go. The people with limited participants is Josh Jacobs, but he played last week with the same injury and was limited and a DNP all week in practice last week. He ended up playing, so he should be good to go. You look at Xavier McKinney, you look at players like Zach Tom, Evan Williams, Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson. Those are some players who practice limited, but they should be good to go in terms of playing Sunday Night Football. The only ones that I would say are up in the air is probably Brandon McManus. He has a right quad injury, and he didn't play last week, so who really knows if he's going to be playing this week. You obviously need your leg and your kicking leg to be able to kick the ball, and that's the injury that he's dealing with. And then you also look at defense lineman Lucas Van Ness with a foot injury. He did not participate, and unless he gets a full participant today, he probably won't play. And you also look at their wide receiver Wicks with the calf injury. He did not participate as well, so if he doesn't participate, he won't be playing. So those are the only 3 players I say that's up in the air in terms of if they will be playing or won't be playing. And also Christian Watson is on injury reserve, so he would have to get activated. But who knows if he's ready for that, if they want to see him continue practice coming off an ACL injury. So those players are the only ones who are in concern for the Sunday night matchup versus the Steelers. Now, let's move on to the game actually being played on the field. And first off, it's going to start off with the jerseys, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are wearing their yellow, gold, whatever you want to call it, 1933 throwback jerseys. And to be honest with you, a lot of fans have complained about it. A lot of players have complained about it in terms of it not being a good look. But in terms of tradition and the Pittsburgh Steelers honoring the 1933 team, they have done these throwbacks many times with different variations, and this is another one. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, in terms of history, it doesn't really matter too much about the luck. It's about representing the history of the team. And that's what they're doing on Sunday Night Football in prime time. So, Darius Slay, I know he talked about, hey, if I don't look good, I can't play good. And some other players have talked about it. But at the end of the day, it's 1 week. You could get over it. You could wear the uniform for 1 week, 1 day, actually, and then go back to the regular. So, the Green Bay Packers, who usually wear a gold helmet, now because the Steelers are wearing a gold helmet, they're going to be wearing white uniforms and then a white helmet. Basically wearing almost exactly the same jersey as the Pittsburgh Steelers face the Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday Night Football. It almost looks the same without the stripes. So basically facing the Bengals all over again in terms of uniforms. So that's where it starts. And where it ends is the game actually being played. So what do the Steelers need to do to win this game? Well, the Steelers need to continue doing what they did last week in terms of offense, but then switch some things up on defense and play how they played versus Minnesota Vikings on defense. Played how they played the Cleveland Browns on defense. But on offense, do the same thing. Be able to run the ball, run for over 100 yards, have your offense line continue to be able to create holes in the run game, which they did. Jaylen Warren should be the main guy and should be getting over 75% of the snaps every single game. It should not be Kenneth Gainwell splitting at 50-50. That doesn't make sense. Jaylen Warren should be in there most of the time. So if they do that, that's a good start. Aaron Rodgers just needs to limit those interceptions where he just throws the ball up and hopes that the players could get it. So also the Pittsburgh Steelers, they need to be able to push the ball down the field, target the tight ends, get tight end mismatches, because that's what they like doing, tight end mismatches. Playing a lot of tight ends. Darnell Washington 6'7", Pat Fryermuth is 6'5", 6'6", and Jonnu Smith is a mismatch. The Pittsburgh Steelers have DK Metcalf, a mismatch. So they need to be able to utilize their weapons down the field. Calvin Austin's a back, use his speed. The Pittsburgh Steelers should be fine on offense. But where it starts with them is defense. Because if their defense doesn't play well, who knows if they win this game. They can't stop no one, it seems like. And we know the Green Bay Packers want to run the football. And they're good at running the football with Josh Jacobs. And they have Jordan Love who could run the ball a little bit too. So the Steelers aren't good at running game. So if they want to win this game, then it starts with the run game. It really does. Starts with the run game, stopping that. And then it ends with the pass game. Even though the Steelers, in terms of defending the pass, isn't good either, the run game is what leads the Pittsburgh Steelers to obviously struggle even more, because then they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, and then you can't stop anyone. So the Steelers, the quarterbacks need to step up as well. You brought in people like veterans, Darius Slay, Jalen Ramsey, redone your whole secondary for a reason. They should be able to stop the ball. So really, the defense, if they play good, the Steelers have a chance and should win this game. If they don't, they probably lose it, because it's going to be another shootout. Now, Green Bay Packers, what do they want to do? Well, they should be wanting to run the ball. Like I said, the Steelers suck at running the defense, so run the ball, pass the ball, and that's basically the Green Bay Packers strat. We know that their defense is kind of solid. They have the pass rusher and Micah Parsons to get to the quarterback. They want to get sacks on Aaron Rodgers, make him be able to stay in the pocket, create quick pressure, because he takes so long to throw the football. If they get pressure and make him hold the football, they will get sacks, maybe some turnovers. So that's what the Green Bay Packers want to do. Get to the passer, run the ball, pass the ball, and just win this game. Anyway, this is the end of this video. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Who wins this game? Does the Pittsburgh Steelers win it? Or do the Green Bay Packers win it? And what is your score predictions and your thoughts on the keys to the game? Me personally, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game. I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is good enough to match opposing teams' offenses now. It's just all a matter of their defense. And at some point, their defense has to turn it around. So maybe this is the week on primetime. Who knows? But I have the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game. Am I confident about it? No. But I have them winning. It's also Aaron Rodgers' return to facing Green Bay Packers, his former team. And the Pittsburgh Steelers obviously want to win this game for Aaron Rodgers in his return, maybe his final season in the NFL. in his final season playing the Green Bay Packers. So, Aaron Rodgers wants to win this game as well. Anyway, I have the Steelers winning. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news, updates, highlights, analysis, reports. Everything surrounding this team I have you covered all season long. So you want to make sure you stay tuned to the channel for your Pittsburgh Steelers updates. So, like the video, share the video, subscribe, and until the next video tomorrow, that's it for me. I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.